And hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gym Challenge Summer Tournament here at Psycho Turtle Collectibles Place, and we are here for round number 2. My name is Jesus Cordell, and joining alongside Dennis Geisler. And you know, we saw that round 1 earlier today, and I don't know if you waited into it really, but like, what did you see out of that first set, or that first set we just saw?
I mean, I think one of the main things I was noticing was I hate saying it, the power of Landorus. It's always a thing, but Landorus was doing such a good job cycling out that Intimidate, getting those fast U-turns. That was the biggest part, but right here we've got Ryan and Christopher on this one. Fascinated to see how this one turns out. A couple of Pokemon we did not see in the previous game. I mean, we didn't see any Urshifu or Fluttermane at all in that previous set. Two of the best Pokemon in this metagame. I think the two most used Pokemon in this metagame.
Yeah, in terms of like stats, we probably would be seeing both of Pokemon like mostly on a lot of teams, but as we're going to see here between these two players, we are going to see from Ryan's screen. So for Ryan Lane, we do see a Heatran, a Fluttermane, an Urshifu Rapid Strike, a Landorus Therian, a Cresselia, and a Rillaboom. And for Christopher Patino, we do see a Dragonite, Goldango, a Moonus, Chien-Pao, Tornadus Incarnate, and Iron Hand. So a lot of similarities between these two teams, but one clearly has a speed advantage.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's also a trick room in the house if anybody wants to get a little weird with it, although you don't necessarily want to trick room into that Dragonite, given that it will just click extreme speed anyways.
Yeah, there's so many factors that come in from each side of the battlefield here. As we're going to see from Christopher, we're going to see him go with Chien-Pao and Tornadus, both of them rank masters. And we're going to see a Landorus there and Urshifu Rapid Strike with Ryan here, as the Intimidate going to affect that Chien-Pao, won't affect that Tornadus as much. But the Sword of Ruin kind of will negate that with that defense drop.
Yeah, not to mention Chien-Pao, we have our team sheets, it is banded. It will do a lot of damage to anything it hits, but it's like, we'll see how this continues. Tornadus definitely can set the overall tempo advantage with a Tailwind, kind of negate some of the speed difference between the two teams.
Yeah, there's so many speed options here with the Tailwind. Even Bleakwind Storm, if it actually connects for Pokemon, because
that's true.
Even though it was like one or more inaccurate attacks here in the game with the 80 accuracy, if it connects, it has a good chance to get that speed drop. But if the Urshifu doesn't terrestrialize here, it could just get hit with the Bleakwind Storm and potentially get one hit knocked out because it doesn't hold that focus as item. But we're going to see the Landers just switch out into the Cresselia slot, make sure that it doesn't take as much damage against that Chien-Pao, which actually just goes ahead and switches out itself. And Christopher's going to bring that Iron Hands.
Yeah, Iron Hands, that will eat a Surging Strikes, I believe? Ooh, already a Terra.
Yeah,
it's gotta be Tornadus, yeah?
It's gonna be the Urshifu here. As
oh,
it's
Urshifu,
yeah. It's gonna be Urshifu on the screen here. Go ahead and try to slice into that water type, lose that weakness to fighting, most importantly, against that Tornadus, but also boost the Searching Strikes if it goes for it itself. And Tornadus does go for the Bleakwind Storm. You see how much better Urshifu took it with that.
That would have KO'd otherwise.
Yeah, it would have. And now we're going to see the Search Strikes go to what would have been that Chien-Pao, which would have been a one-hit knockout. Instead, just going to go to Iron Hands, and that Mystic Water also boosting it further. So Iron Hands taking so much damage after taking all those 3 hits.
Yeah, Iron Hands, it's very bulky. He does easily take that one, and now we'll see what each of them decides to do. Iron Hands, I mean, the obvious move is Fake Out into someone, but not really clear who.
But also, the move could be obvious on the Tornadus. They could just go ahead and go for the taunt on the Cresselia to make sure it doesn't do any of its tricks, as we see in the scene. We do see an ally switch somewhere on that screen.
Yeah, I mean, it has ally switch. Got Lunar Blessing if they really feel like pulling that one out.
I mean, healing is healing. We saw how much damage that Bleakwind Storm did.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if it goes through the Bleakwind Storm regardless, or if it goes before the Bleakwind Storm, which it wouldn't, but
no, we're instead going to see the Urshifu switch out. You know, it doesn't want to take a Fake Out, doesn't want to take a Bleakwind Storm, or even something like a Wild Charge, as a matter of fact. Or it would have been a Wild Charge if we weren't running Thunder Punch right now.
Yeah, and always cycling that good old Landorus.
It's going to be into the Cresselia, and it's a critical hit on the Fake Out through that Intimidate. But it takes a bit of Rocky Helmet damage thanks to the contact. Bleakwind Storm, go ahead and miss the Landorus. We'll get some damage on the Cresselia, importantly.
That's rough. The miss on the Landorus is... That thing is scarfed, but with the drop, Tornadus might have been able to outspeed and try to do something to the Landorus. Now the Landorus basically can do whatever it wants. I mean, it can Rock Slide. Rock Slide probably gets Iron Hands and definitely does a huge chunk to Tornadus. Or it could U-turn again. I mean, it's always an. I mean, we've already seen what happens, but it's always an option to U-turn with Landorus.
Yeah, it always is an option, and
Ooh.
Iron Hands doesn't want to go down so easily again, but now we're going to see the Chien Pao come back into play.
Do some damage.
Yeah, if you just saw go for the Rock Slide, yeah, we're going to see the taunt here, so he's not going to go for something like that Lunar Blessing or the Trick Room. We're going to see a Rock Slide come in, doesn't want to appreciate taking the Chien Pao coming in here, and yeah, you see how much damage it did, but it will give the Citrus Berry off onto the Tornadoes, heal it up a bit.
Yeah, and the it's the Sword of Ruin damage actually helped, and there's the Lunar Blessing getting blocked.
Yeah, the Lunar Blessing tried to go ahead and heal up the Cresselia. So it took a lot of damage from that Bleak Wind Storm and Fake Out combination from earlier, and now Chien Pao in a relatively good position now to go for the Tailwind. Tailwind and Ice Cold Crush combination, if it does have it. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, absolutely. That would definitely work and should outspeed the Landorus at that point, even through the Scarf.
Yeah, and
which explains the reasoning for Landorus now leaving.
Yeah, we use for that Heat Trend, but this could also be a read from Christopher to go for that Crunch instead into that Cresselia, go ahead and knock it out, but it won't knock it out quite without impact with that Rocky Helmet, because Crunch is another contact move. And the Tornadus actually went for another Bleak Wind Storm, as a matter of fact, and it does connect.
Fantastic read from Christopher there. Doesn't get the speed drop there, but even still, really, really smart play. Landorus can come back in now. It will be the Urshifu instead. Landorus would only really come in to get that attack drop, but Urshifu can put some real pressure down on them.
Yeah, it is threatening a lot of pressure on both the Chien Pao and the Tornadus, especially with that Aqua Jet.
Yeah.
Because
should get the KO on either?
It might not get the KO on the Tornadus.
It'd be close.
It would be close.
Through the Sword of Ruin, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you got another Sword of Ruin. Yeah, it's just, again, the Sword of Ruin just kind of being a double-edged sword, because it really helped against something like that Cresselia, but it didn't help that Tornadus took a lot of damage from that Rock Slide. I mean, the Citrus Berry healing did help. It might be able to take an Aqua Jet coming in here, but instead we're just going to see a Translation come out, and I believe that'll be the Chien Pao for Christopher?
I believe so. I mean, a high-powered Sucker Punch would certainly do a lot of damage. I don't know if it would get anything out. Oh yeah, it's banded. Thanks for clicking on the thing and reminding me.
Ooh, oh no!
Ooh, I don't know about this.
Oh, Rain Dance.
It weakens the Heat Ran, I guess. If Christopher is confident that he can get rid of the Urshifu this turn.
Oh, but it didn't go into the Tornadus slot. Instead, it just goes into the Chien Pao, and that's a Terrestrialization gone from Chris.
That's a scary Urshifu now.
I mean, did this Heat Trend go for the Heat Wave? It did. So it will be weakened, so Tornadus will be able to take this. Ooh, and a burn.
That's on a, what, 2-turn timer now?
It should be.
I don't think that, does the burn get the KO right now?
It will not. It should not get the KO.
I don't think it will.
Yeah, it should not get the KO here, but it will be on the next turn, as we do confirm there.
Yeah, and now it's the, I guess, easiest play in the world to just click Aqua Jet or Surging Strike. Well, probably Aqua Jet into whatever comes in here.
Yeah, and as well as we do know that the Iron Hands is very low HP here, so Chris kind of forced to go into that Goldengo. And now it depends on how fast this Tornadus and the Urshifu are, because Tornadus typically is faster than Urshifu, but if it's not faster, it may not get that Tailwind before it gets hit with an Aqua Jet.
Yeah, I think Tornadus is going to be faster here. So it should be able to Bleak Wind Storm through whatever Urshifu tries to do.
Instead, it just detects. Doesn't want to take any unnecessary damage from a Bleak Wind Storm. Nope, we're just going to see a Scout out from Ryan, trying to make sure what Christopher does in this situation here. It is the Tailwind coming in.
That's a really smart play from Christopher. Given that the Double Protect was an option, let the Double Protect go through. Let Tornadus go down. It got the Tailwind off. That's all it really needed to do. Iron Hands gets to come onto the field now for basically free.
Yeah, it did try to go for an attack into that Urshifu. Did not opt to go for the Make It Rain, but Tornadus will go down here. So it got the Tailwind off, which is probably the most important thing he wanted. But
I think the Shadow Ball was a smart move. The Golden Go is specs, and so it wouldn't really be able to get a lot of value out of Make It Rain with how many Pokemon that Ryan has remaining.
We had to I mean, Chris is in a weird spot because Urshifu can still take a knockout on the Iron Hands with the Aqua Jet.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get the knockout, that's a Drain Punch heading its way, but also that Heat Train could just switch in for that Landers to get an Intimidate onto that Iron Hands for Chris. And we do not know how much damage that Spec Shadow Ball is doing to any of Ryan's Pokemon.
Yeah, we really don't. It could be doubling into the Urshifu Fake Out Shadow Ball for Christopher. We'll see Landorus come in, so Iron Hands is permanently weaker now.
And so is Goldango, but you typically
It doesn't do anything to come and go, it's special.
I mean, we do see the Fake Out here.
There's the Fake
This should
Out.
be a knockout from that range, actually, now that I think about it. It will be range. Shadow Ball
Shadow
comes
Ball.
in,
Alright.
and it will be able to knock out that Urshifu and take it down to a 2v2 between the Landorus and the Iron Hands. Tailwind up, but...
Even then, Landorus should outspeed, right?
Yeah, because
Scarfed.
yeah, not only is it Scarf, which kind of mitigates the Tailwind, but Iron Hands are typically not as fast as they are.
Iron Hands are pretty slow. A lot of the times I've seen them spec to outspeed unboosted Flutter Mane and Urshifu and Tailwind. In this case, that still underspeeds Landorus.
Goldango is...
That's a fast Goldango.
Yeah, is able to outspeed and not get the knockout on the Landorus. I guess a special defense drop, but probably a turn too late. We're going to see the Stomping Tantrum go into the Iron Hands, going to get that knockout. That Surging Strikes took earlier, definitely coming back to Hans. And we're going to see, I think the each hit click Earth Power, and it does click that Earth Power. So this is unfortunately a guaranteed game, because even though Goldango survives this turn, for Landorus and Heat Train, you cannot knock out both Pokemon.
Yeah, I do not see a way out for Christopher here. Either way, a solid play to game 1 to Ryan.
I'm a little curious on why Christopher didn't go for the Shadow Ball onto the Heat Train to find out about the damage, but you know, make it a 1-0 victory. Maybe just not rub salt to the wound at that point.
Yeah, and I don't know. The information would be nice, but I also feel like if I was playing, I would say it's probably a 2-hit KO regardless. That's just my read on it, and I don't know if Christopher has the deep knowledge on that matchup, but either way, I think it was close. I think Christopher made a lot of really good plays, but Ryan just kind of had the upper hand most of the game, it felt like. Especially, I mean, Landorus coming in and getting that big rock slide off was huge for deciding the battle at large.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the more harder parts about using Sword of Ruin, because while it does benefit Pokemon like that Chien-Pao on its own, you cannot get into a situation where your opponent's going to be able to take advantage of that option, because you saw what happened with that Tornadus.
Yeah, Tornadus really got shredded through that, and the burn on the Tornadus didn't help either. It might have been able to at least be a little bit more aggressive in the turns it had remaining. Let it actually need to be hit by Urshifu's Aqua Jet. Instead, Urshifu is kind of able to play around it, slow things down a little bit. Let's see, that is the same Pokemon for Ryan, if he clicks the done button right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much to change, unless you want to bring in that Rillaboom for Fake Out support, but
yeah,
you have to go back to that game as well, because Christopher was confident that Urshifu would not Aqua Jet the Chien-Pao, but instead he got a bit...
Yeah, the waste on the Terra there was really rough.
It really was rough, because...
I like the card with the astronaut hat and the Palafin in the background. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Well, we're going to see a different lead from Chris. We're going to see Iron Hands Chien-Pao, and I believe Ryan also switching it up as well. No, actually, never mind.
Those are the same leads, so that means that both Iron Hands and Chien-Pao are weakened by that Intimidate from Landorus.
Yeah, now we're in a spot where that's the same thing happened, because Fake Out did go into Landorus on a Urshifu's Claw swap, but you know, Icicle Crush is still an option, but
yeah,
Chien-Pao I think Chien-Pao needs to probably be aggressive this turn, unlike the last game.
I would agree, but I think Landorus does have to hard switch out, just because it can't let itself get Fake Out Icicle crashed, and so yeah, it has to hard switch out. Yeah, which means it doesn't get the U-turn off, but now this means that Cresselia could just eat something.
Oh no, we're gonna see this swap out again for the Chien-Pao. Once again, scared of that Choice Scarf. We're seeing Dragonite comes in. That Dragonite really gonna be potentially here. Oh, that's actually not a good move right now for Chris, because this Dragonite's multi-scale.
Yeah, but it still eats this fairly well. I mean, it's still not very effective.
Yeah, but the multi-scale's gone, which is...
Multi-scale is gone now. That's disappointing. Cresselia does a lot of damage to it if it is able to get a Moonblast off onto this Dragonite. We'll see what this Dragonite goes for. I mean, the classic, since Terastallization has been a mechanic, has been the Terra Normal Extreme Speed combo for the Dragonite. Not a super obvious target right now, given that Cresselia is Rocky Helmet. And you kind of do have to play around this Cresselia a lot. Without multi-scale, that Moonblast is scary. We see Ryan hovering it right now.
Yeah, he's also hovering the Terastallization option as well, you know.
Yeah.
Now it would be a pretty scary target against something like that Dragonite. Maybe force it to Terra, as we do see on the team sheet, it is Terra Normal. And the Drain Punch actually from the Iron Hands didn't do that much damage on the Urshifu, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, it is at a one lowered level of attack. There is the Terra Fairy. The Moonblast is coming into Dragonite. We'll see if Dragonite is able to avoid it in any way. Does it protect?
You'll see a Terastallization from Chris. Let's see what this is. I really think this is Dragonite to normal type.
Dragonite to
normal.
normal.
No, it's Iron Hands.
It's Iron Hands.
It's going to go to Grass type.
Interesting decision there. It means it eats a Surging Strike's better from Urshifu, but we know that thing just clicked detect.
Yeah, it does click
and
to
there
protect
it goes.
here. I think the Dragonite could just protect here, as we do see that the team scene. Oh goodness, it's going for a Dragon Dance. Tries to get, he's confident that he can take on a Moonblast from that Cresselia, but
We just didn't expect the Moonblast to come out, but I don't think Dragonite's getting through this one.
Moonblast comes in. Oh, gets the survival there, but a special attack drop. So we're gonna see a Thunder Punch go into the detect as well, trying to get a super effective hit onto the Urshifu, and now this Dragonite. Well, it cannot target a Cresselia, actually.
Yeah, it would still get dropped by that. The ally switch is an option here. Dragonite has to read. I think what Dragonite wants to do here is click Extreme Speed on Urshifu, or hit Urshifu with Extreme Speed. You have to be able to predict whether the ally switch is coming out, though, in order to do that. Because I don't think it does much to Cresselia by itself.
No, it won't. And there's Extreme Speed. No ally switch comes out. Doesn't even knock out the... Wait.
It's a lot of damage.
Wait.
But... Oh yeah, because it's a priority move.
Okay, well, we're going to see the Close Combat come into the Iron Hand slot. We're going to go ahead and get the survival here onto that Urshifu. Yeah, Urshifu took that pretty well, and the Thunder Punch goes into the Cresselia.
Oh, that was a weird looking animation.
Yeah.
I was confused by that animation too. It read Cresselia on the bottom when it was Urshifu. That was weird.
Yeah, it's like the ally switch also switched up the HP bars.
Yeah, no, that was a really bizarre animation. We gotta get Game Freak working on that.
Yeah,
but
okay,
anyways.
okay, ally switch actually not only swap the allies, swap HP numbers.
Swap the HP number and only the HP number.
Dragonite doesn't want to stick around though.
Yeah, that's probably smart. The Detect was obviously coming out, and now Tornadus is able to take the field, try to get something up.
Yeah, and there is the Detect.
I mean, takes the field for free.
What does the Iron Hands do here in this situation? We're going to see the Moonblast come out. I think this also went into what was the Dragonite, now the Tornadus.
Yeah, Tornadus will eat that just fine.
Oh, the special attack drop. Actually going to be pretty impactful against something like that Bleakwind Storm, but we do see a Heavy Slam go into the Cresselia, but once again, Iron Hands is taking damage for its own reason.
I think Christopher was hoping that would do more damage. I was expecting that to do more damage, but Iron Hands at -1 has really been struggling this game. It's just kind of taking up space on the field for a bit. And Landorus is still in the back. A lot of damage on these first two Pokemon for Ryan, but still has a lot of health left in these things, especially against this duo. Iron Hands and Tornadus don't really threaten, especially both at -1. Neither of them really threatens anything that badly.
No, it really doesn't. And looking at Chris's
Urshifu would still drop to anything, but...
I mean, it is
Cresselia just kind of eats damage right now.
It is range right now for something like that Extreme Speed for earlier, but Chris's situation is a little weird because if you don't get the Tailwind, that Landorus with Choice Scarf is going to be outspeeding all of Christopher's Pokemon without any fail, and we're going to see Taunt come out. Doesn't want to see something like that Lunar Blessing come out to get some healing on that Cresselia. What is... Nope, just goes for the Moonblast. Is this going into the Iron Hands? It is going to be going to the Iron Hands, and it will not pick up the knockout.
That thing is bulky.
And the Drain Punch goes into the...
Assault Vest.
Yeah, there is a Drain Punch going into the Landorus slot. Not going to be doing a lot of damage because of that -2 takes it 2 Intimidates. But that's a minuscule amount of HP recovery. I don't know if he'll take it another attack.
Yeah, and now Cresselia is locked into just clicking Moonblast for the rest of while it's in, at least.
Rockslide comes in.
Rockslide does a lot.
Doesn't knock out the Tornadus, but I think, yeah, the Cresselia stayed in, so this will be a double knockout unless this Bleak Wind Storm gets a...
I mean, the Citrus Berry recovery will come out, but I think it will still take down the Tornadus.
Yeah, we're going to see Tornadus get a bit of HP recovery, but does it flinch at all because of that Rockslide? It gets the Bleak Wind Storm off. It missed something, it double missed.
That's so tragic. You can see Ryan's reaction to that one. That's a tragedy. I don't know that it decided a whole lot there. That was already going to be a rough turn for Christopher, but the double miss on the Bleak Wind Storm, certainly a tragedy, and now means it's a 4-on-2 here with Dragonite on
very low health.
Life support.
Yeah, that Shampal not looking good right now with that choice, man. It really is a focus dash right now.
Yeah, I don't know what keeps Landorus right now from clicking Rock Slide again.
Probably
other than not wanting to miss. Extreme Speed does someday. Like Extreme Speed Sucker Punch, does that do enough to get rid of Landorus here?
I mean, it is Extreme Speed into a Landorus with a sort of Ruin Drop, but it's not Terra Normal, it's not Choice Band.
Yeah.
In fact, the Choice Band's on the wrong Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Extreme Speed by itself would take it down with the Extreme Speed, because the Sucker Punch is also able to come out from Chen Pao.
Oh, that's doing? Yeah, not enough
That's
to do
good damage.
Rockslide comes in, we're gonna hit on both Pokemon. Chimpao survives. Oh, it's critical hit as well.
That's a sad crit. That's a very sad crit.
Let's just hope it doesn't flinch here, alright? It goes for the Icicle Crash, does connect onto the Cresselia. It is enough for a knockout, thanks to that Choice Band.
It's the knockout, but I think that should be the game, as Landorus can just click Rock Slide next turn and should be able to get out of this one. That sun moved across the sky really fast. In the background, you see that?
Yeah, well, we're also going to be seeing here Urshifu coming back into the play, so yeah, that's probably...
Urshifu should just be able to click Aqua Jet and finish this one off.
Yeah, there's nothing Christopher can do really, and there is the Aqua Jet, and that is the set over. Ryan Wayne goes ahead and wins round number 2 with a 2-0 victory in his favor.
Yeah, and that was I really like the Cresselia there. You don't usually see that bulky 3 support move Cresselia or 3 status move Cresselia get that heavy damage off, but using the Terra Fairy, getting that Moonblast off, did a lot of damage. I was really impressed by the way Ryan played that game.
You know, you typically sometimes see offensive Cresselias from time to time. You know, you always see it from like past formats, you know, with things such as, you know, Ice Beam, you know, to get knockouts on Landorus back in the day, but you know, its evolution's interesting that it's now going from Moonblast to take care of things like fighting types, even dragon types. You know, even do okay damage against something like a Flutter Mane. Yeah,
exactly, and clearly it worked that game, so GG's to Ryan, absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a small break right now to go back and prepare ourselves for round number 3. We'll be right back after this.